What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Weapon Collective. Out on the range today, and we're going to be kind of running this thing for the first time. This is the HK MR556 A4. I did do a video when I first picked this up, just kind of going over the setup and the gun itself. So we're going to put some rounds through it today and get my initial impressions of running this bad boy. So excited to get on it. Let's take a look at this guy.
Just wanna stay in the sun where I find I know it's hard sometimes. Pieces of peace in the sun's peace of mind. I know it's hard sometimes. Yeah, I think about the end just way too much, but it's fun to fantasize on my enemies who wouldn't wish who I was. But it's fun to fantasize. Oh, I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Oh, I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride. I die for you, that's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take. A bullet for them, a bullet for you, a bullet for everybody in this room. But they don't seem to see many bullets coming through. See many bullets coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what I do. I live for you, and that's hard to do. Even harder to say when you know it's not true. Even harder to write when you know that tonight there were people back home who tried talking to you, but then you ignore them still. All these questions, they're folded like who would you live for? Who would you die for? And would you ever kill? I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride.
What's up, guys? So back in the GAC cave after being on the range in the snow, in the freezing cold, and shooting the new MR556 A4 from HK. And this is the first impressions of that gun. And before we get into it, I'm just gonna go over the gun in case you're not familiar with it. So this is the new HK MR556 A4, and they did some upgrades. And what's so special about this thing? Well, for people like me that are just into these types of guns, this is as close as you can get to an actual HK 416. And it's from the factory, I should say. And it is, I did get it in an 11-inch pistol. I was not interested in getting a 16-inch rifle. Right now, it has a SB Tactical SBA3 pistol brace, which really, I don't like the look of, but when I'm shooting it, I don't notice a huge difference. And let's go through this thing real quick. I just have it set up with a Huxworks Flow 556K, and then a Modlite PLH-V2 18350 that I'm operating with Surefire SR07 pressure pad. Then this hand stop and the grip are both from Die Free Company. This is a Kung Fu grip, and this is a Tiger Claw. This is the first I've used the Tiger Claw, and actually I like it. It's a good hand stop. Put a HRF magwell on there, which I do like magwells. And then I'm running a Aimpoint Micro T2 on this Irregular Defense riser. When I showed this in the first video, there were a few people who didn't like this mount, but I like it. I like that heads up position. And then from the factory, what makes this thing really cool is, first off, they cut some weight out of it. And this gun comes in at 6.6 pounds, which is not light for an AR-15, but it's light for an HK MR556, or particularly the 416 with the quad rail is such a heavy gun. So that was my concern of getting a 16-inch, was I knew how heavy the A1 model was, and they did a really good job of cutting down the weight, but retaining all the things that make this a great gun. This has a barrel from Germany that is not chrome lined, which is better for accuracy, and they say is still, it is a lifetime warranty. So they're standing behind this barrel, and if you ever shoot it out, send it in and it will get replaced. Now, sending your gun back to HK USA, I don't know how long that would take, but some other cool features about it are they came out with this new charging handle, full ambi charging handle, which is awesome. Big, huge controls, and I really dig that. Then it is full ambi. So for me, I've said this on the channel a lot, but this, you can lock the bolt to the rear, which is what I want. And that's just right over here, and you can drop the bolt. And then mag release on this side and on this side. And it's just, one thing I really dig about it is their safety throws. They are really comfortable, very ergonomic, very easy to use. But that's kind of a tour through the gun. And now let's talk about shooting it. Like I said, today was the first day of putting rounds through this gun, and I was very impressed with it. As I mentioned, I was worried about the weight, especially running a can on this thing. You put a can out on the front of a heavy gun and just wielding that thing, especially with one hand, it can get a little heavy. So I will say this thing feels so much better. When I'm actually shooting it, I don't notice the weight being a significant issue at all. Now, I have some other guns that are very light that are noticeably, I can move much easier and faster, but this thing kind of falls right in line with my average AR-15s. I'm not noticing a tremendous amount of weight. It shot fantastic for what I did with it. Now, it was kind of just the first impressions. Didn't have time to put thousands of rounds through this thing, but shot a couple strings pretty quick. It got hot, melted my pants on the can. One thing I noticed after running it is my bolt carrier group is still nice and clean. That's because it is a piston gun, short stroke piston operated. So I'm not getting a whole bunch of gas in the system, and I'm running a flow through suppressor. The combination of that with the short stroke gas piston, I'm getting almost zero noticeable gas in the face either. So I'm gonna say this was really high impressions of shooting this thing for the first time, doing reloads with it, everything. I did not feel it was unwieldy and heavy. I was very impressed with it, shoots soft, and I can't wait to shoot this gun some more. I am definitely been focused more on shooting handguns as of late on the channel, and I'm gonna credit this guy as the gun that got me back into shooting some ARs, because that was a lot of fun running this thing and definitely makes me want to get out and put a lot more rounds through it. Lastly, I've talked quite a lot about weight in this video. And just for comparison, it's basically a clone of a 416. And this is the Brownell's BRN4. And this looks perfect. It feels perfect too. And it has this quad rail out front, and I think it's just a heavier barrel. It's still a short stroke gas piston operated system, but this one is not adjustable. And I think I forgot to mention that the A4 is adjustable. This is not ambi, and it is so much heavier, and noticeably so. Just handling the gun, it just wants to dip forward, especially with the suppressor on here. So this thing looks really cool, but it doesn't shoot, or you can't move with it and do nearly as much as well as you can with the A4. So, like I said, I'm super stoked to get out and run some more ARs, and it's probably gonna be that guy for a little while. I'm very impressed with it and excited to shoot some more ARs on the channel. So stay tuned for that. Please comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I'm Jeff for The Weapon Collective, reminding you, keep your weapons collected and keep collecting your weapons. I'll catch you next time.